I'm Emily Frank.
And I'm India Jordan, and we're going to talk about ways that African-descended people have been portrayed in the media from the beginnings of the American entertainment industry to the present day.
So easy to say, oh, but that was so long ago. But if you really look at the movies that we watch today and the things that we consume today, a lot of them are really similar to the same ideas that were being portrayed way back then.
A lot of people think that race isn't as big of an issue in the entertainment industry today, but today we're going to look at some examples that are directly connected to some very disturbing examples of racism and stereotypes of black bodies from way back in the day to today. An early example is Birth of a Nation, which was like one of the biggest movies, like one of the first like huge blockbuster films, and the black characters in that movie, first of all, that movie is just glorifying the Reconstruction period and the Old South, but the black characters are portrayed by white actors in blackface, and something really striking is the scene where a white woman is threatened by a black man that he's going to rape her, and then he doesn't, and then like the KKK comes and saves the day. But it's really similar to certain images in The Blind Side, which was a huge film like only a couple of years ago.
So for example, in The Blind Side, the movie's basically about a homeless African-American guy who
doesn't talk a lot.
Yeah, he doesn't talk a lot, and he just happens to be athletic, which is one of the main issues that we have in the media as African Americans being portrayed as either musicians or athletes, as if those are the only two professions that we can really pursue. So that's an issue on its own. But on top of that, the family that ends up adopting him ends up being like a very upper class white family.
Being taken in by this family, he's then able to like improve his grades and then like become someone and become successful. And then there's also kind of, even if you just look at like the poster for the movie, it's like the silhouette of like this giant black athletic person and then this tiny delicate white woman. And there's like certain images and moments in the film where Sandra Bullock's character goes to the neighborhood of the adopted black son, and like some of the men in the neighborhood are threatening her sexually, and it kind of just brings up similar issues of something like Birth of a Nation.
I heard you got your new mama now. She fine too.
Michael was here.
Tell him to sleep with one eye open.
You threatened my son. You threatened.
And I just think it's important to ask yourself, is it a coincidence that this character, athletic, big, dumb at the beginning, homeless, is it a coincidence that he's black? Or is that what's commonly being fed to us by media? And that's why it's so easy to accept. This is an award-winning movie, one that we've all probably seen.
Mm-hmm. Even in films like Django and 12 Years a Slave, there's always seems to be this character, this white character, who saves the day. And like in these films there'll be like a triumph, but it's kind of like a minor win within like the grander scheme of things staying the way they are. Like there's no changing of the actual system of oppression, but like in 12 Years a Slave, the Brad Pitt character comes and like that's what resolves everything. And similar in Django.
In Django,
the white character helps him to like be stronger and take down all these bad guys, but it couldn't happen without the help of the white character.
Another issue that's been at the forefront of the entertainment industry, and is still a huge issue today, is the sexualization of the black female body. Sarah Baartman was taken from her home so her body can be exploited. She was a part of a freak show. Her body was used as entertainment for people to look at, laugh at, pay to see.
Forced to be a spectacle because many of them had never seen a naked black woman's body. They nicknamed her Hottentot Venus. They were fascinated by her large, full breasts, big hips, buttocks, and big lips. They stared, touched her.
Which is seems absolutely ridiculous today, but when you really think about it, there's a lot of parallels in today's society, sexualization of the black female body even today.
One example of this being Miley Cyrus and the use of her black dancers and how she'll like spank them and have them like twerking around her.
To my homegirls here with the big butt, shaking it like we on a strip club. Remember, only God could judge ya.
She's using the black female body as a spectacle, and she's making money off of it. Sarah Bartman, her body was used for consumerism, and Miley Cyrus is here spanking African descendant women's butts as a way to brand herself so that she can make more money.
Another hugely popular example of the sexualization of the black female body would be Scandal. There's a black woman who's having an affair with a white president who's married to a white woman. There's something to be said for it being this huge show that, yeah, it does have a black female lead character. She's still in this position where she's submissive to a white male, and for people to see that image when they just see the commercial or the billboard for the show or whatever, it's still perpetuating this idea of the black woman.
So while we're on the topic of women, it's also important to point out the other side of black women's portrayal in media. There's the hypersexualization, and then there's always the side that portrays us as unapproachable or mean. This is simply just a stereotype that media has fed us and that we've accepted. And if you really think about it, it goes back from all the way from the days of the mammy character.
In your usual setup in American society, the person who controls is the male. The mammy is presented as the controller, a way of indicating, quote unquote, how inferior we are. That men are weak and women are strong. The very opposite of the way it's supposed to be, according to the societal norms. So the mammy strikes at two important concepts of gender in antebellum society. She is strong, asexual, and ugly when a woman is supposed to be beautiful, fragile, dependent. She is a controller of her own people, of the males in her own...
If you really think about today's society and the movies and the TV shows that we watch is of these black women, and there is that one African American female character, even in shows such as Glee.
You're lazy, Mercedes.
Not too lazy to come up there and let you taste my fist. Whoa, whoa. Hell to the nah. No, hell to the nah. Oh, hell to the nah, Mr. Hell to the nizzy no.
Or movies like Why Did I Get Married?
I'm telling you, Marcus, if she looks at me one more time cross-eyed, I'm gonna gut her like a fish.
She wasn't even looking at you.
How would you know? You weren't even on her face. You too busy staring at her ass.
They portray black women just super mean. When you look at media, that's how we're portrayed.
In the ways that blackface minstrelsy took all these stereotypes that largely were created, but stereotypes about black people, and use them for entertainment. There's still so much of this happening, like shows like Love and Hip Hop, even like Jerry Springer and Maury.
Hold up, time out. Tell her the truth. Hold on. I'm only 20 years old. I'm a young man.
It doesn't matter. You should have thought about that before you got me pregnant.
They put all these like stereotypes of like promiscuity in the black community and just like lack of intelligence, and it's used for entertainment. Right. And then we have in Jerry Springer and Maury, we have like these white hosts who it's kind of like a juxtaposition.
The host who's in the dominating, the paternal figure who's looking down on these people as if, oh, they're so dumb, or they don't know what they're talking about, and they have all these issues because that's just their culture, and we're here to laugh at it. And that's what they're making money off of. People sit down in their living rooms and watch these television shows and laugh at a false portrayal of someone's culture.
So to sum everything up, we just think it's really important to look at the ways that African descended people are represented in our media today and how it's really not that different from the past.